Hi, you guys. My name is Keshia Waldron. I am an entrepreneur, photographer, former model. The list goes on my resume. I know I have been gone. I made one video in 2020 and I haven't made one since now. But I feel so good to be back and I'm so excited. And first and foremost, excuse my manners, Happy New Year, Happy 2022. I hope you guys are feeling good and you're following up on your New Year's resolutions. But let me tell you something. January has been rough and we're only 20 something days in and it's been rough, child. Like, let me just tell you. But regardless of, I'm excited because I'm doing something that I wanted to do for so long and just didn't get it done. But now I'm here, I'm getting it done, and I'm going to be reviewing season 14 of Married at First Sight, which I'm super excited about. I love this show. Like, you guys should hear my commentary when I'm actually like watching the show live. Like, I'm so into it. And I decided to do a review today. So sit tight, get comfortable. It's the weekend, drink some wine, get some popcorn, whatever it is that you do to get comfortable. Sit tight, child, because I am going to do a review for you. I want to start off first with the first couple that got married, which was Lindsay and Mark, the shock. So initially, and I know I'm a little late doing this, but I had to catch up. And I know we're, I believe, 3 episodes in or 2 episodes in thus far. But I want to definitely do, my insight on the casting or, who got chose basically to be on the show this season. So, I want to start off with Lindsay and Mark the Shark, or Mark the Shark. So initially when I first watched it, I was like, I actually like this couple. I really think that Lindsay would give Mark, a run for his money, and he's already like the center of attention, life of the party type of guy. So I thought that they would be a match. But honestly, as I watched the other episodes of Married at First Sight and I started to pay more attention to Lindsay, I realized that she's a lot. Like, first and foremost, like, when I initially watched the casting special, I was like, yo, I like Lindsay. Like, she would be somebody I would like to hang around with because she's so animated. She's so much fun. Like, she's a little crazy. And me, I'm a laid-back type of person, but I do like to have fun. And I feel like when you have people around that with such a big, spontaneous energy, like, it brings it out of you. And Lindsay would definitely be somebody that I would definitely have around me. And that might not be all the time, but definitely for a good turn up, like to get lit. And when I say lit, I just mean like having fun and enjoying yourself. But as the episodes went on, I was just like, Lindsay needs, if y'all remember on VH1, they had that show, and VH1 is not sponsoring me, by the way, but you can. When they had that show with Monique, that Monique hosted, Charm School, I feel like Lindsay needs to go to Charm School and just learn etiquette, learn time and place, learn when to say stuff, when not to say stuff, like without altering her personality to the point where she's not herself, but more so of just reel it in some, sis. Just reel it in some. Like, calm down a little bit. When it's not time to turn up, it's not time for the turn up. Because I feel like, just from what I've been watching thus far, I just feel like she's kind of scaring her husband, Mark. He's just like, yo, I know I'm a lot because I'm the center of attention type of dude. Like, people gravitate towards me. But I feel like she's scaring him. And the difference between Lindsay and Mark, in my opinion, is Mark is one of those people that's the center of attention, like with the party, but people naturally gravitate towards him. And I feel like when Lindsay, she kind of forces it. Like, she's like, hey, look at me, look at me, look And it can be a little team too much. But I do like her. I'm not even gonna front. I do like her. But yeah, and I feel like, with the trauma that she's had, with the relationship that she has with her mother, which is actually a familiar story to me, but me and my mom are now in a good place. But there was a point where things were rocky. I understand that, and I think that she should definitely seek counsel for that. Like, she should go to therapy for that and really unpack that, because I almost feel like she's seeking the approval of others and the love that she did not get from her mother, even though she had her dad in her life, and having a dad in your life is super important, and having her brother in her life and having male figures in her life is good, but you still crave that maternal love. You still want that, and that when you don't have that, or it's rocky or shaky, like, it shows up in ways that you may not even think of. So yeah, I definitely want Lindsay to heal, like, with whatever she's been through in the past, like with other relationships and with her mom. Hopefully they come to good terms. Like, I always wish that for other people, because like I said, I know what I went through growing up with my mother, and our relationship is really great now. And I always wish that for other people who has started off rocky with their parent. So yeah, I wish that for Lindsay. But I'm gonna say that it could possibly work if Miss Lindsay calmed down, because I could tell that she has a good heart. I could tell that she loves really hard, but it's an intense type of love. Like, it's very intense, and that can literally scare somebody away. So hopefully she works on that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that couple. So my next couple would be Noi and Steve. And to be honest with you, I said to myself, I don't want to claim a favorite, because I feel like, since watching this show, I've done that and I've gotten disappointed. Like, for example, last season 13 with Johnny and Bao, like, I really had a lot of faith in them in the beginning. Like, they looked promising. And then Johnny started showing his whole entire hiney, and I was like, yeah, no. So I'm very careful with this season on saying who's my favorite. But I really am not going to lie. Like, I really do like Noi and Steve. Steve is, to me, a handsome guy. He seems career-oriented. Even though he doesn't have a job right now, or he's in between jobs, he does seem career oriented. He seems like a person that will easily get a job, but I can understand him, like, being in the corporate world and getting laid off, and like just wanting to regroup and travel and just take some time for yourself, and either have fun or just center yourself. So I'm not going to judge him for that. Noi seems like a cool person. She seems like she seeks love. Like, they both seem like hopeless romantic to me. Like, I love that he's big on family, because I'm big on family. And I love that he's open-minded, and so is she. And I love that he's open-minded because of the fact that his grandparents were an arranged marriage. He's already seen that, an example of that. And he seems like he comes from a very structured family. Noi seems like she comes from a very structured family, because her parents are both together. Steve's parents are together. So I really think the dynamic of that could work. They just have to, always keep respect for each other and keep communication open and going. And I believe that it will truly work out for them as long as they do those things, because something may seem perfect, but if you're not putting in the work and you're not doing the work, it's going to fall apart. And that's just how it is. That's just life. So the next couple that I am going to review, child, is Katina and Olajuwon. I got a lot to say about Mr. Olajuwon, child. Like, a lot to say. Like, I honestly do not understand why the experts put this man together with this woman. Like, I'm going to be really frank. Like, I don't understand what the thought process was. Like, I don't feel like it's Katina's job to grow Olajuwon up. And I really don't think he's ready for marriage. Like, I feel like he's one of those type of guys that gets older and kind of worn out, in a sense of like he's shared his body with so many people and now he wants to settle down with the good girl that cooks. Like, he literally said, you're not a wife if you don't cook. Like, you're not a husband if you're not a provider. Olajuwon, are you a provider though? Are you a provider? Oh, okay. Like, we need to know this. Like, what is it that you actually do? Like, I'm gonna go back and look at what it is that he does. But it's like his mentality is like 1950s, but he acts like a new age F-boy. Like, I don't understand. And Katina seems like a cool girl. Like, she seems laid back. She seems cautious. Like, she did mention that she's a Cancer, which I also am a Cancer. And, you know, we're very, and, you know, if you're not into the zodiac, astrology, whatever, like, I'm big on it. I just am. Because I know that I'm my sign to the T. But, you know, for Cancers, we're very observant people. Like, we do love very hard. Sometimes a little too fast, especially if a person is saying the right things and things seem to be going well. We might jump off that bridge a little too soon. And from what I've seen thus far, it seems like Katina is going to do just that. And I don't think it's good, because she's with an unprepared man, a man that is still trying to figure it out but thinks that he has it figured out. And I think that's a recipe for disaster. Like, I honestly don't know why the experts put them together. Like, I feel like she's scarred from her insecurities from the past of being cheated on, and also like being in situations where she didn't know that she was the side. And then you put her with a guy that openly says that he was a player. I still think he is, but that's just my personal opinion. And he's been with this girl. He's lied. He didn't keep it honest about who he is and what his actual name was. Telling girls that his name was Isaac when that's his middle name. And, you know, he said that he cheated and all sorts of stuff. And it's like, why would you pair somebody who has, excuse me, these past insecurities and these past traumas with someone who's only going to elevate it with how they act? Like, and Olajuwon is an emotional dude. I can already tell that. And I think he mentioned that as well. And Katina may act like she's not emotional, because that's a Cancer thing. We will act like straight gangsters, but we are some softies on the inside. Like, we just want to be loved. We just want to be hugged. We just want to be kissed and taken care of. But our demeanor on the outside, and I know I'm giving all our secrets away, but can be real gangster. Like, yeah, emotions, what is that? Like, we can be like that. And I feel like he is going to literally poke every insecurity out of her as time goes on. So I really don't believe this is a great match at all. If Olajuwon is opposite of what I'm saying, I apologize in advance. And yeah, I'll take it back. But as of right now, I'm not liking what I see. And he just seems like a wild guy, and he seems like nobody checks him like that. Everybody just had around him in his circle seems to kind of just be used to his personality, and they just expect him to be the way that he is. And I really don't feel like anyone's actually holding him accountable. Once again, I may be wrong, but that's just my personal view on that. So I don't believe this couple will last at all. If they do make it to decision day and they say yes, 6-7 months from then, they're not gonna be together. And let me tell you something. I know I'm doing this review for the first time for Married at First Sight, but I am spot on with my predictions. Last season and the season before that, I was on it. Like I already said, season 12, I believe. I said Eric and Virginia wasn't going to last. They said yes on decision day, knew it was going to last. Ryan and Clara knew it was going to last. Last season, I knew that Jose and Rachel wasn't going to last. Like, after he locked her out, I was like, if Rachel does not leave this man, she's crazy. she's crazy. Like, because if you just met somebody and they locking you out and cussing you out and throwing rings at you or threatening to throw rings at you, sweetheart, you have a long uphill road with that person, because they're showing you who they are early. And trust me, that wasn't a mistake. That wasn't something that you ever overlook. That's something that makes you go to the left, I'm running. But that's neither here nor there. We're now in season 14. But yeah, like, I'm spot on with my predictions. Anyway, next couple. So Michael and what's her name? Jasmina. Sorry, Jasmina girl. Michael and Jasmina. Michael he seems like a good dude. He seems like a level-headed man. He gives me guarded vibes, which we already know, because he said that he's not, he's not so quick to open up. And once again, I feel like the experts did opposite of what these people requested and required. So it's just like, if he doesn't open up easily, but Jasmina specifically said that she wants somebody that's open, that communicates, that she could talk to, that's not shy. Why would you put her with the opposite and then hope that she brings it out of him? Like, that can be very frustrating, trying to get something out of somebody that they really don't want to be. Like, you have to, in order to change, you have to make that decision within yourself. It's not anybody's responsibility or job to bring it out of you. If they do, cool, that's great. But honestly, it's not their job. And I could see Jasmina getting frustrated in the process of trying to pull him out of his show. I'm not gonna lie, I think Jasmine is a beautiful girl, but I do think I don't see the fun in her. She seems really serious. She seems like she takes everything seriously. And I even feel like when she's joking, like her sense of humor is dry. Like, it's not hee hee girl, you funny. Like, it's not that. It's just like, oh, okay, that was cute. Like, and I'm not hating. Like, I think she's beautiful, but I gotta keep it honest. And that may stem, and don't eat me up, because my parents are from the Caribbean. That may stem from a Caribbean upbringing, a background, like, being more serious, because a lot of times in Caribbean households, like, you don't get that huggy, lovey thing from your family. Like, even if you have both parents in your life, like, you don't get that. Like, you're almost expected to know that they love you because you got a roof over your head and you got a hot meal in your stomach and you're being provided for. That is the way of a lot of Caribbean households. Hopefully, now that we are in new age 2022, that dynamic starts to change. But I know a lot of people grew up like that, including myself. Like, and I know that that Michael comes from a Haitian background. Jasmine is Jamaican, but I feel like a lot of Jamaican women, once again, I'm not coming for anybody, but I gotta keep it real, like, grow up hard. Like, they're like more aggressive, they're more of a leader, they're more take charge type of women. And a lot of times when you're like that, you are not able to really bask or walk in your femininity, because you're always moving like a man, like masculine. And I think that may be her problem. I think that may be the thing that really could potentially, for lack of better words, mash up their marriage. Like, if she doesn't change that. And hopefully Michael will step up as a man and allow and be the leader and be assertive, and so that she can rest in her feminine energy, because he's way too laid back, he's way too quiet. Like, he kind of reminds me of my father, to be honest with you. Like that laid back coolness, and where you let the woman kind of like take charge. And I feel like, especially as Black women, like, we need to rest in our femininity. Like, we need to not always want to be the leader and take charge. Like, let a man lead, and trust him that he will. So if Michael doesn't get out of his way, their marriage is not gonna last. If Jasmina don't get out of her way, their marriage is not gonna last. So they both have things that they need to work on individually to be best for each other. It has potential, but if they don't work on themselves, I can see it crashing and burning. And honestly, I feel like Married at First Sight need to change it up and like really have like maybe like weekly therapy sessions. I don't know if they do that behind the scenes. It doesn't seem like it. But I just really think that's important because, you know, people come in relationships with their trauma, with, you know, their hurt. And a lot of times we make it the other person's responsibility to change that. Or, you know, but it's not the other person's responsibility, it's your own. To know what your flaws are and know what to work on for yourself so you can be a better individual, not only for yourself, but for them. Okay, I'm done. I think I'm going to get off my soapbox now. So they definitely have potential, but it may or may not work. And I did say, I'm not going front, like when I was watching it, I did say that this marriage for Jasmina may be a setup for her second marriage. Like maybe the trial run, the test run for her second marriage. But as time, you know, progresses, we'll see. We'll see if what I'm saying is factual or not. But I know by saying that, I'm pretty much saying without saying that I don't think they're going to last. And once again, I think it's a possibility, but they both have to put in the work. So we're going to see as the show progresses if they're both going to put in the work. So I believe the last and final couple that I'm going to do, which I believe is the most boring couple, is Alyssa and, is his name Chris? Is his name Chris? What's his name, y'all? Hold on. Let me know. That's a shame, child. I don't even know that man's name.
Just say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Yes, his name is Chris. I didn't tell me his name was Chris. Had me going on doing all that research. Yeah, Chris. So Chris and Alyssa, most boring couple. I know Alyssa, like I knew from the jump, like Alyssa would not like him. I don't like to talk about people, but to be honest with you, Chris is not an attractive man at all. And I knew that he would not at all be her type. Like, I feel like her type would have been possibly Ryan from last season that was paired up with Brett. Possibly the guy, I don't remember his name. He was in the season where he was paired up with the girl Molly. And he ended up getting engaged to Dr. Jessica, who was one of the experts. I think she would have liked him. I think she would have liked Zach, I think Zach was from the, was it DC season? I believe he was from the DC season with Brandon and Taylor. He got paired up with Mindy. I believe she would have definitely liked him, and he definitely would have liked her. Because I always said that Zach from that season, from the DC season, liked like that whole Miami girl look. And Alyssa has that. But I knew that she wouldn't like Chris. Chris is not an attractive man. Chris, he's just not that guy. Like, he's just not. I'm sorry to say. But anyway, and so far we've seen that she doesn't like him, that she's turned off by him. And it was funny because I was having a conversation with my fiance yesterday when we were watching, and I was saying to him, during the episode of where I was going to do a casting review, but I'm just going to mix it all in since I've watched all of it thus far this season. When somebody, I just want to point this out, when somebody already is not attracted to somebody from jump, because when Sis came around the little greenery at the wedding, her face said it all. Like, if I could screenshot it, I will tag it on the screen. What her face said when she came around the corner, like, it said that she didn't like him physically. And once the wedding happened and the friend told her that he can be condescending, that made it worse, because it's like first impressions are everything, and her first impression of him, she's not attracted to him. It's obvious. I'm surprised they even kissed at the altar. Like, I'm shocked. But when the friend told her that just added to the fact that she doesn't like him. And I'll get into that later on with a different review. I'll get more in depth with that. But yeah, Chris and Alyssa are not gonna last. Like, there's not much for me to say about this couple, because I already know that they're not gonna last. Chris looks at her as a prize because she's a beautiful girl, she's attractive, and he's not. And honestly, I know he's a real estate agent, but I know he's not like showing houses to these big celebrities, so he has a big commission. Because let me tell you something, I don't know Alyssa, and I don't want to assume, but to be honest with you, she's a young girl, she's a beautiful girl, and the only way I could see her dating somebody like Chris in the real world is if he had money, like where she can overlook the fact that he's not attractive. Like, and I honestly believe, like, I don't know if Chris buffed up and if he fixed his teeth and whitened them, and shaved and cleaned his face, because he showed up to the wedding very scraggly, like very just very scraggly, like he didn't try. Like, why would you show up to your wedding and not clean your face up? But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Maybe if he buffed up, fixed his teeth, maybe he would look better, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that Chris and Alyssa is going to work out. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see that as the season progresses. But guys, let me know what you think. Tell me your opinion on this season of Married at First Sight. Like, Married at First Sight has become a circus, child. Like, a circus. Like, I initially watched the show because I was like so excited about the fact that, you know, you can have experts match you, because like in the real world and dating world, you were making all these mistakes and picking the wrong people. But it's interesting to see that the experts are the ones picking the wrong people, and they're supposed to be the experts, child. Because some people that came on the show, like, I literally don't know how they got on the show. Like, honestly, I'm like, how did y'all not see that? Like, I'm watching from home and I can tell this person is like not qualified. Chris from what was it, season 12, that was paired with Paige. I seen him from the casting special. I was like, absolutely not. Like, he's not qualified. So I don't know how experts, psychologists, and people who have degrees can't see that. But yeah, and Olajuwon, I don't know how he got on the show. I believe he's a charmer. He probably charmed his way on the show. And I know y'all probably gonna be like, "Ooh, she's an Olajuwon hater, child." But I'm gonna just be honest. Like, I just don't think he's qualified. I don't think he's ready. Maybe maybe when he's 40 years old, he'll be ready. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this season 14 of Married at First Sight. Thank you for taking the time to watch my review. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, share this video, and we will be back in another week. So yeah, thank you for taking the time. I love you guys, and make sure you come back for my review on season 14 of Married at First Sight.